Also getting a lot of questions on some subpoenas inside of the 10Q. 5 officers received subpoenas from the SEC. 3 more got them on September 21st. Can you share with us what the SEC is exactly looking for here?
Hey, I'm Stephen and this is Solving the Money Problem. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. So in this video, we're talking about my favorite company of all time, Nikola Motor. I love their products, they're making a load of revenue, they're highly profitable, so let's see what they had to say in their Q3 earnings. Now look, I admit, life's just not the same without my good friend Trevor Milton in the picture, but the show must go on. So let's get into the video. But first, hey guys, if you're in the US and you'd like 3 free stocks, yes, 1, 2, 3 free stocks, check out the link in the description to WeBull. Open a new account and fund it with $100 and you'll get 3 free stocks, 2 of them valued up to $1,600. And if you're in Australia, the UK or New Zealand, you can get a free stock with stake also using the link in the description. Let's get back to it. And as we watch this video, pay equal attention to what is said as what isn't said. All right, let's get into it.
It has been a turbulent few months at electric truck maker Nikola, but the company's new CEO, Mark Russell, is in fact promising better days ahead, and he joins us now. Mark Russell, good to see you on Yahoo Finance Live this morning. Listen, a lot of the folks I've talked to in the street this morning, they're giving you a high marks for the conference call you had last night. Lots of details on development timelines and battery technology, but I'm also getting a lot of questions on some subpoenas inside of the 10Q. 5 officers received subpoenas from the SEC. 3 more got them on September 21st. Can you share with us what the SEC is exactly looking for here?
Well, you know, no company would comment on ongoing SEC matters, so we're cooperating with them and doing everything we can to help them in their work. But we don't comment on an ongoing SEC matter.
What a tough start to an interview, hey? Very fair questions, but of course no company is going to comment on a matter like this. However, the fact that this is going on, then it was disclosed in the Q3 report, they are under investigation, there are the subpoenas. Yeah, good sign. Shout out to all the Nikola investors who currently own the stock. Good luck with that, just saying. Not investment advice, I'm just saying, just good luck with that.
Fair enough. Should investors be concerned about these subpoenas?
Of fucking course investors should be concerned. Legal proceedings. Regulatory and governmental investigations. That sounds fun, doesn't it? Regulatory and governmental investigations. On September 14, 2020, the company and 5 of its officers and employees received subpoenas from the SEC as part of a fact-finding inquiry related to aspects of the company's business, as well as certain matters described in a report issued on September 10, 2020 by Hindenburg Research, the Hindenburg Report. The SEC issued subpoenas to another 3 of the company's officers and employees on September 21st, 2020. The SEC issued subpoenas to Nikola's directors on September 30th, 2020. The company and Trevor Milton also received grand jury subpoenas from the US Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York on September 19, 2020. The company also received a grand jury subpoena from the New York County District Attorney's Office on September 21st, 2020. The company has cooperated and will continue to cooperate with these and any other regulatory or governmental requests. And unless you're new here, in which case, hi, welcome to the channel. Check out the playlist Nikola if you want to get up to speed. You'll have seen the allegations in the Hindenburg Research Report. They are scathing. The word literally exists to describe these kind of allegations. And they all, in my opinion, appear to be heavily grounded in reality. It's not going to be pretty. The question is, will Mark answer the question or do a bit of a Neo in the Matrix, go into bullet time and dodge that motherfucker? Should
investors be concerned about these subpoenas?
We're very focused on our milestones going forward. At the break before we came in, we were talking about the trucks that we have being completed in Ulm, Germany, the first one of which has gone on the track and it's been on the dyno. It's very exciting. We think that's going to be a groundbreaking truck that the world is going to love, and it's going to help us go to zero emissions.
Well played, Mark. Well played.
And you're right. You're important. Before we came on, we were talking about that new semi truck. You put a picture of it in the earnings release. take us through that. So it is up and running. I know there was some concerns coming off the Hindenburg report on what you actually have in terms of trucks that move. So you're saying this runs, and when might that be available to customers?
So we have a number of trucks that run. We have a couple of hydrogen fuel cell prototypes that have been running for more than a year on test tracks and on test runs. We actually haul beer for Anheuser-Busch on public roads with that truck, with one of those prototypes. This will be the first prototype, however, the one that's on the track in Germany. That's the first prototype of the Nikola Tre, which is our new battery electric vehicle that will go into production next year. So we got 5 prototypes coming into completion right now, and they will go on the track for testing and then later road testing. And then we'll have another batch of prototypes, and that truck goes into production next year.
How in the fuck is this company worth $7 billion? They've built less prototypes than I have fingers on one hand. Maybe there needs to be like an IQ test when you sign up for a brokerage account to start buying and selling stocks. It's like, sorry, dude, you must be this tall to ride, and yeah, you're a little bit short. Sorry, no account for you. Really, they haven't even proven that they can manufacture at scale. They've done nothing. They're a pre-revenue company. It's all talk.
What about the battery technology, Mark? There are also some concerns raised on the report on what IP in terms of battery technology Nikola does in fact have. What do you own and what don't you own?
Now, maybe my memory's failing me here, but I have a funny feeling that Trevor Milton had claimed that Nikola had some of, if not the best battery technology on planet Earth, so it'll be very interesting to hear how Mark answers this question. But again, maybe I'm imagining. Maybe Trevor didn't have any outrageous claims about Nikola's groundbreaking, industry-leading, incredible long-range, energy-dense battery cells.
Well, we use the same basic cells as pretty much everybody does. There's only 4 or 5 major producers of battery cells, particularly cylindrical cells in the world. And pretty much every battery in a vehicle uses one of those. And even if you're using a different format, it's often from those same suppliers. There's really a small concentration of global suppliers of battery cells. Those are put into battery packs, or usually into a module that's then assembled into a pack. So what most people own if they're doing batteries for a vehicle is the pack. And that's what Nikola has. We designed our pack. It's proprietary to us, but it uses a module from a company called Romeo. And when we use cylindrical cells in those modules that come from suppliers in Korea.
Now, I'm no genius when it comes to understanding battery technology, but based on my very, very shallow understanding, I don't believe that if they're getting battery cells from a typical supplier and they're getting battery modules from a third-party supplier as well, that Nikola has enough secret sauce and magic in actually putting those modules into packs that's somehow going to achieve the energy density that was either claimed or implied by comments made from old mate Trevor Milton. And the message here isn't, oh, what a terrible liar, allegedly do your own research, blah, 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 blah. Trevor Milton is. The point here is that if you're an investor in Nikola or you're just curious or observing them as a company, as a business, wondering how they'll do, at this point in time, my best guess, given what we've just heard from the CEO Mark Russell, is that they have approximately fuck all in the way of meaningful proprietary technology in terms of battery tech. I don't believe that they have anything that gives them a meaningful advantage over anyone else who could get those same cells and those same modules and then assemble them in a pack as well. But what do I know? I'm just some high guy on the internet.
And Mark, I want to ask about thinking about the roadmap, and you guys kind of outlined when you think you'll have some products ready, and you look at how much cash you have on the balance sheet, how much you're burning each quarter, and just think about the stock and the ownership base that you have now. I mean, it's been a crazy year for shares of Nikola. It was an $80 stock at one point. How has that changed, if at all, the way that the management team has thought about charting out the next couple of years? Because I mean, everyone says it's not distracting, but certainly what was happening with the stock price at some point had to be taken notice by folks who are trying to just kind of do their jobs and execute.
Well, I preach not to focus on the stock price day to day, and our focus is on our long-term shareholders. We're really grateful to have a core base of long-term shareholders that came in the transaction where we went public. People that are long-term holders. We have Norges, we have BlackRock, we have Fidelity, people like that. that are looking at our business plan for the long term and investing for the long term. We're focused on that long term. We're focused on the milestones that we have laid out there, getting this tray on the road, getting it in customer hands next year, following that up with the fuel cell truck in 2023 and the stations to fuel the fuel cell trucks by 2023, 2022. So we believe as we execute on those milestones that we're going to reward our shareholders, and particularly our long-term shareholders, which we're very grateful for.
Speaking of Nikola's shares, I'm just going to read from the Q3 report. Approximately 161 million shares of our common stock will become eligible for sale beginning on December 1st, 2020. Remember that date? When was Nikola World again? You guys will have to remind me. I've totally forgotten the date of Nikola World. Just for some reason they seem similar. Wonder why. Upon the expiration of the lock-up agreement described above, approximately 5 million additional shares of our common stock held by Origin holders may become eligible for sale beginning or after December 1st, 2020. Same date again. I'll continue. Sales of a substantial number of shares of our common stock in the public market, or the perception that these sales might occur, which I'm talking about right now, could depress the market price of our common stock and could impair our ability to raise capital. So yes, guys, on December 1st, a ton of Nikola insiders who own Nikola stock are finally out of lockup and can sell their shares. Given the Hindenburg research report, allegations of fraud, lies, deception, misleading investors, the SEC investigation, the DOJ investigation, and so on, the fact that they've produced no products, no revenue, blah, 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 blah. And also, don't forget their sky-high multi-billion-dollar valuation having done nothing yet except talk. I have a funny feeling that quite a number of these insiders will be dumping as many of their shares as quickly as they possibly can. That is very likely, not guaranteed, but very likely to put intense downward pressure on Nikola stock. And the fact that you now know about it and other investors also know about this upcoming fact, that may also negatively impact the stock price in the lead up to that date, because people will be like, well, fuck, I own Nikola stock. I'd rather sell it now than when it's worth 1/10 or 1/4. I'm not making predictions here, but I'm making a point, right? People who are aware that the stock's probably at least better odds than even, likely to fall off a cliff on December 1st, give or take. Maybe existing shareholders begin selling before that date and it drives the stock price down, self-fulfilling prophecy. Yes, so this is a very real point and a very real concern for Nikola shareholders. I'm glad it's been pointed out in this report. This is one of the reasons why it's important, if you own shares in a company, if you really care, if you've got real money on the table, to pay attention to this stuff. This is a clear, gigantic, flashing warning sign saying, guys, if you own Nikola stock, this is about to happen. Warning, warning, warning. Like, this is the biggest red flag you can possibly find, period, if you own the stock. Right here. We already knew about this. I've been discussing it for months, but it's right here in the Q3 report.
Mark, let's talk about another one of your potential long-term shareholders. I'm talking, of course, about General Motors and the agreement that is still not closed, the partnership that's still not closed between your two companies. What does the closing of that hinge upon at this point?
A successful conclusion of those discussions, which are ongoing. And when we have something to report about the conclusion of those discussions, we'll let you know for sure.
Hey Neo, Mark, hey Mark, I kind of get the feeling, I mean, maybe I could be wrong, but I kind of get the feeling that she was asking, what are you discussing in those discussions that's holding up the closure of the deal? Maybe, just maybe.
Mark, on the earnings call, it was mentioned that you ended the quarter with over 900 million in cash, but it sounded, at least to me, you are exploring a capital raise next year. When do you think you might need more capital for markets, and would it be an equity raise?
So we have said in our investor materials for some time, most of the year actually, that we would do one more capital raise that would involve an equity raise, and that would be sometime in the next 18 month time frame, and that we would do that opportunistically based on market conditions. So we stand by that. That's going to be our plan. We will plan to go back to the market for one more tranche of equity, and we'll do that when the conditions are best for that.
And Mark, real quickly before I let you go, just back to what Julie mentioned on GM. Are you prepared to go it alone if GM doesn't go through with the deal?
Absolutely. That was our base plan before we had the GM discussions. We have a fuel cell program that we've been working on with Bosch for a number of years. And we obviously have a battery program that I've just described to you that we're going into production with on our battery electric vehicles. That'll be our base plan. Would love to have access to GM's Ultium battery and their Hydrotech fuel cell systems, both of which are outstanding technology with a lot of potential and promise.
What do you know? It sounds like Nikola's CEO believes that they would gain a lot from using the GM technology, the GM Ultium technology and the GM fuel cells, which again, in my opinion, does appear to be another tacit admission regarding some of the claims from Hindenburg Research about lies and deception and misleading of investors. I raised these same points in a few videos regarding the GM and Nikola deal. Why would Nikola be willing to give away billions of dollars of equity in their company and agree to pay hundreds of millions of dollars to GM for facilities and tooling to actually produce this vehicle, and then on top of that have to buy these things at a markup, GM making a big profit on the way, and then Nikola need to mark these up again to actually make any profit selling to retail customers? In case you've forgotten, or unless I'm imagining it, it was Nikola who claimed to have breakthrough battery and fuel cell technology, so why would they give away a huge chunk, billions of dollars worth of their company and all of these other things as well? Give to GM just to get access to their technology and have the vehicle manufactured. Why would Nikola not provide their breakthrough technology for GM to use?
But if we don't have those, we have a base plan and we can go to market on our own if we have to.
Rip the Nikola Badger. It's game over, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry to burst your bubble, but there's no Badger. It's never coming out unless Nikola give away an enormous chunk of their company out of absolute sheer desperation. It's not worth it. They do have a business plan to execute, and proof is in the pudding. Today or yesterday, very recently, Nikola have now updated their website. Their homepage, which previously featured the Badger pre-order page as the first thing you saw, completely revamped, big focus on the trucks, and now Badger just tucked away in a hidden menu somewhere, not at all a feature. Neither are the power sports products, which again, all vaporware in my opinion. And I didn't even have time to discuss the $5 million of legal fees this quarter, defending the allegations and assisting with the SEC and everyone else just sniffing around, making sure that everything's crystal clear and squeaky clean at Nikola, because of course they would never have done anything wrong in their past, would they? I'm Stephen Mark Ryan, this is Solving the Money Problem, and I love you all. And don't forget, if you're in the US and you'd like 3 free stocks, check out the link in the description to WeBull. Open a new account and fund it with $100 and you'll get 3 free stocks, 2 of them valued up to $1,600. And if you're in Australia, the UK or New Zealand, you can get a free stock with stake also using the link in the description. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, if you have any ideas for future videos, let me know. I read all your comments. PS, if you're still watching, you're awesome. If you'd like early access, exclusive videos, regular Q&As, our private Discord server and more, consider supporting the channel at patreon.com/solvingthemoneyproblem so I can keep creating content for you guys. There's a link in the description. You can now also become a member of the channel for some exclusive perks. To learn more, click the join button next to subscribe. And don't forget to check out our merch store. Either way, the best form of support is you being here and watching, so thanks again.